Muting.
Hey guys, this is Skylar. I am completely blind. I'm autistic and I have a chronic heart condition. Excuse me. I'm here to talk about childhood ASMR triggers. Now, for those of you who don't know, ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, and it's a tingling, usually on the scalp or head, sometimes the back, caused by audio, visual, or cognitive triggers. Now, just like everybody's bodies and faces, everybody's ASMR triggers are going to be different, simply because we are not cookie-cutter humans, and we have different bodies and brains. But I'm here to tell you about some of my childhood ASMR triggers. Now, until I was like 23, I never knew what ASMR was. I mean, I had experienced it before, but never, ever, ever knew what it was. And we're going to talk about how I got into it. Now, let's start off like when I was really, really little, like maybe 7 or 8. I for sure didn't know what it was back then, because I was a 90s kid, and this was the pre-internet days when, you know, you couldn't just Google something. So when I was 7 or 8, that would have been 1990, 1997, 1999, around those times. One of my biggest triggers was my mom. She had a desktop computer, because that was the only type of computer that was around back then. And me and her, even though I can't see, I can hear just fine. So I would listen to my mom play Slingo, which is like I think it's like a slot machine game on your computer or something like that. All I know is there was a devil that would pop up and I think take your money. I used to get mad when that devil popped up, because we were brought up Christian, and the devil wasn't really good, so I would always tell Mom to tell the devil to go away or something. But other than the devil, the Slingo game was very ASMR inducing. Like, I would love to just sit and listen to Mom play Slingo and chew a bubble gum. Mom had like a big, huge like container of bubble gum that she had, and she would let me and Cameron chew it while we watched her play Slingo. Also, another ASMR trigger that I didn't know was a trigger was, again, when I was really little, I used to fall asleep to Cameron's stupid video games, Pokemon, whatever, you name it. Now, I was always the type of girl, and I still am, that needs sound to sleep. I need like a radio or something reading me a story or something like that to put me to sleep, because that's just what I need. Well, I remember back in those days, I could fall asleep to Cameron's Pokemon games and video games. Why? I don't have a clue. I honestly don't have a clue why and how I could fall asleep to his video games, because they had a lot of sound to them. So, like, even though I didn't see or didn't care what was going on in his video games, like, I could hear, like, the sound. So, yeah. My hearing is just fine. So, another childhood ASMR trigger was just listening to people on, like, a desktop. Like, listening to people type on a desktop. And now that I know what ASMR is, like 4 years ago I found out what ASMR was. Now I know, and now I can connect the dots, and like there are some ASMR videos that have people typing on desktops or calculators or stuff like that, laptops, blah blah, and stuff like that, and I find that to be very relaxing. So I've had a few childhood, also from childhood to adulthood. Sometimes listening to people with accents will trigger my ASMR, especially like Latin accents, German accents, Italian, um, things like that. Type of, like, not American, and not so much the English, British, Australian thing, but like even like Arabs. Listening to people like with Arab accents will bring me ASMR. I find that I can get ASMR more readily from people with accents. And I remember one time when I was like 18 or 19. This is before I had a device, before I had my tablet. So I didn't know what ASMR was back then either. That would have been like 2010. I was on I live with my parents, okay, because they take care of me because of my heart and lung condition. Well, I was one time laying next to Dad and talking, and Dad was doing his paperwork on the bed next to me. And I remember I felt very, I don't know why, or now I know, but back then, listening to Dad do his paperwork, it was very relaxing to me. As weird as it may sound, it was just very relaxing to me, and I felt very sleepy, like almost corpsey, because it was just so relaxing to me. And back then I didn't understand why, because I didn't know what ASMR was until I was like 23. So 8 years ago, this is when, in 2010, that's when Dad and his paperwork came in. And I figured out that listening to Dad just do his paperwork was very relaxing. I didn't know why. And some, like, baby toys, because baby toys are very sensory, because baby toys are very sensory targeted, they can trigger ASMR because they're all about the senses, the hearing, the sight, the touch. You know, they want to get those senses developed, obviously. So they try to stimulate those senses as much as possible. Well, baby toys, to me, are huge ASMR triggers because they crinkle, or they make a sound, or yeah. It's hard to explain. Anyways, well, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and those are my childhood ASMR triggers. Now, as an adult in 2013, actually 14, I got my device and I was looking up videos of, I didn't know what ASMR was still, but I was looking up videos about sand sounds because I like the sound that sand makes when you gently move it around. It's like a gentle sound. And I find that sound that I just made to be very relaxing. So I was looking for sand sounds on YouTube, and an ASMR video by The Water Whispers came up. So, yeah. That's how I knew about ASMR. And then I was like, well, what does ASMR stand for? What does it mean? So I typed it out into Google, and it came up with the definition. So there's a channel called ASMR for You, and I sometimes, to help me relax, I will listen to him. He does magic card tricks. He does stuff on a computer. He does German lessons. He draws on this like electronic whiteboard type thing, and just the sound of that is very relaxing to me. Plus his accent. So, yeah. those are my child and adult ASMR triggers. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and God bless.